I was thinking to myself before, because I saw a thread on Twitter, people were arguing about why a person would buy a film if they haven't seen it. Now, that's a fair point. Like, it's... But also, would you buy a book if you haven't read it? You know? You're gonna go to the library, or PDF a book, fucking Kindle that shit, and be like, I really like this book. I want to buy it on hardback now. Read it again. Like, there's like a mindset. I understand movies are a different form of medium where you can stream it, but realistically, you can do the same thing with books. You can pirate books. It's not easy, but you can do it. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's a completely rational opinion and even question. Why would you buy a movie if you haven't seen it? Like, why would you buy the Blu-ray, the DVD, a 4K collector's set with a steelbook? Comes with a 60-page booklet, 4 art cards, a double-sided poster, newly commissioned artwork, and it's Wild Things from 1990-something or other. Yeah, I did that. It cost me $70. The film was okay. It looked fantastic, but it was just okay. But that's what I did, because I'd never seen the movie before, and I wanted to watch it, and it was coming out, and it was new. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll buy that $70 goddamn steelbook set, because I'm a madman, bitch. But, like, per example, compare the pair. These are two films from 1938, Bringing Up Baby. This is a recent pickup. And in the same package, Night of the Hunter from 1955. I have never seen Night of the Hunter. I've heard things about it. I've heard good things about it. Never seen it before. Never seen it in my life. I have no fucking idea what it's about. I know some minor things, but I don't really know what it's about. I've heard that it can be intense. It has some great scenes. Oh my god, this guy is amazing. All this kind of shit. But I never figured, maybe I'll just go on the Criterion channel, fucking stream that shit, and then decide if I'm going to buy it. No, bitch, there was a sale on the Blu-rays, so I bought the... So I'm not really trying to be aggressive. I'm just really tired right now. Bringing Up Baby, on the other hand, is a film I watched in university for class. I don't remember what the topic was, I don't remember what the subject was. My memory's not that fantastic, but I remember that I watched the movie, and I remember that I have seen the movie. Like, I remember what happens in the movie. But this is a new 4K restoration. I say new, it's like 2021. Okay, decently new. Great cast, great director, hilarious film. And I figured, fuck yeah, I'll buy that. It was also on sale. But it's one of those things of, like, I feel like it's not exactly a valid argument to be saying, why would you buy something if you've never seen it? There's a lot of times when I'm buying stuff, and trust me, I buy a lot of shit. And I'll look at it and be like, okay, do I want to watch the trailer? Trailer, the one thing you'd think you'd always watch? Hardly ever. Most of these films I have not watched the trailer for. I don't care to watch trailers that much. One of the only times I did that I think was a worthwhile experience was when I was in Japan and we're at a local cinema and they had a few American films or English-speaking films, but we decided to go for a Japanese film despite the fact that it had no subtitles. And we went for The Confidence Man because I was able to find the trailer and it looked pretty goofy. I'm like, hey, this looks pretty fun, let's watch this one. I think I watched 2 other trailers for 2 other films they had there if I could figure out what the title was. And they didn't really interest me that much. Just one, I'm like, this one looks like the right stuff. And it was a good fucking film. Totally worth watching. And we had a blast watching it despite the fact that we had no idea what they were saying. It's a unique experience. Well, it doesn't have to be a unique experience. You could just watch a film that doesn't have subtitles, that needs subtitles. I don't know, you can do it yourself at home. But, you know, when you're in a foreign country that speaks a different language, it's fun, you know? But, like, a lot of these films, like I've got two here from Imprint. You've got Day of the Locust and Days of Heaven. Days of Heaven I know because it's a Terrence Malick film. It was recently a Criterion release, and then it was like a 4K release as well. But then they didn't have the rights to it anymore. It became out of print, so it was reprinted in Australia through Imprint as the Imprint label version. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll buy that. You know, Terrence Malick. I like some of his films. Why not? I haven't watched any of these two films yet. It doesn't exactly fit my case, but the point is that I knew some stuff about it. I figured, sure, I'll buy it. Day of the Locust, on the other hand, I mean, look at this artwork. Look at how cool this movie looks. It looks like, oh yeah, we're like Hollywood in the 50s, and we're also like an absolute nightmare. And I'm like, I'm down for that. I'll eventually get around to watching it. But I'm the kind of person who can just buy something on a whim. Maybe it'll have bad reviews, because that's probably usually my best bet. If I'm going to buy a movie that I've never heard of before, maybe I'll just look at the reviews. Not exactly Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't mind looking into it, seeing individual reviews, kind of getting more of an idea, because that's the point of it. It's an aggregate. It's not a single voice. It's multiple screaming at the same time. And there's a lot of movies that I have bought that I have just heard good things, maybe seen a poster before, maybe I've never heard it before, maybe I like another film, like I bought Lady Snowblood. It came with its both the first and second film. I only bought it to watch it because I like Kill Bill. And I really like Kill Bill. And I really liked Lady Snowblood. I haven't seen the second part yet, but I at least watched it, and I enjoyed it. I had never seen it before, but I liked it. I like that kind of cinema. It's very weird. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's a dumb argument, I think. I think maybe because we're in the age of the internet, that's sure. But it's also I don't know. It's weird. Think of the kind of opportunities we have nowadays when it comes to media. You can stream it. You can rent it. You can buy it. I mean, that's basically the three options. I'd say pirate it / steal it as well, but that technically not just renting it. I mean, renting includes payment usually, doesn't it? I say rent because it's you could just delete the file afterwards. I'll just borrow this for an hour or so. Delete it afterwards. Okay, so stealing's another option, sure. Stealing's always an option. Not that it's the right option, but it is an option. But I also love physical media because for me, there's different elements that come into buying movies. There's the factor of, oh, I could buy this movie because I really like it, or I've heard good things. Maybe it's up my alley. Trust me, there's a lot of films I've bought that I've regretted buying. It happens. It's not guess I won't buy movies anymore. I don't give a shit if Batman the Killing Joke was a piece of crap. I still gave it to my friend and ha 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 ha. Now I don't have it in my collection anymore. It was not a good use of my money. It was pretty cheap, but still, it was not good. But a lot of these movies also come with things called special features. And that's great. There's also the element of buffering. So, even if I rent or buy something online, don't buy digitally. That's stupid. See, that's something else that I've also learned. Don't buy shit digitally. What the fuck's the point? Music, sure. That's the only thing I can understand buying something digitally. Actually, maybe a Kindle as well, but I'm not really a big reader, so that's an up to you kind of deal. Movies, on the other hand, you don't really own this shit, music you can put on your phone or whatever musical device you have and get the hell out of there. With a Kindle or a book or something, I know that's Kindle's a branded thing, but an ebook, I'm not big on ebooks. I used to read comic books like that. I think that's fine. Comic books work like that. But you don't really own it because maybe that service stops working one day or just, and you put all this money into all these digital files you can never get back to. I've got a bunch of comics that I've spent my money on that are all digital, And I don't read them or haven't read them because they're on a service that, well, actually, I can access it very easily. I just can't be bothered because I don't read comics anymore. But, like, I can't look at my shelf and be like, I'm going to be nostalgic. I'm going to pick up this, Avengers issue 1. Oh, wait, nope. That's on my digital library. I can't access that anymore unless I try to find out what the hell my email and password is for Comixology. But movies is where I always find it fun, where, like, say, Dad's streaming a movie and we have it on the fucking shelf and it starts buffering and he's like, who's using the internet? And we're all sitting there having dinner. We're like, none of us. We're all fucking sitting here eating dinner. We're trying to watch whatever fucking movie you try to put on, and you're streaming it because we have Foxtel and they like to stream from Foxtel, or they want to stream it through Netflix, despite the fact that we've got it here. And I might come out there and be like, oh yeah, I've got this movie, and they might be like, oh okay. That'll do that. I understand the convenience of, like, it's on Foxtel, you can click tape, or hey, I can stream this because it's on now, or it was on before and I can watch it now because I've got Foxtel on demand or Netflix or whatever, despite the fact that I got it on the shelf. And the amount of times I've seen shit like that buffer, and it pisses everyone off. It pisses me off, pisses you off, it pisses us all off. It's the one main problem with the internet. It's buffering. The second is compression. Oh, that's like the second pick of the day. Compression sucks. And there's a lot of bad compression on streaming sites. So buffering's one thing, compression's another. Oh, I want to watch this in 4K. But guess what? It's the streaming quality of 4K, so it's still not going to look great at all. It might look semi-decent if your internet's okay, but let's be honest, nah. So, we come to the equation of, is it on the shelf? And yes, bitch, it's on the fucking shelf. Go get it, Like, for some fucking reason, my family were watching the Harry Potter films, and they're watching it. I come home one day from work, and they're watching, like, the third Harry Potter film, and it keeps stopping, and I'm talking to them, because we've all seen these movies 100 times, and it keeps stopping, and I keep turning, I'm like, are you guys streaming this? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, the 4K's right, it's literally 2 meters from me, like this, it's literally on the floor, right next to the doorway, and the movie just kept buffering, and they're like, okay, Julian, can you grab out the movie? So I just grabbed out the box set, we had the time code, we're an hour through, chucked in the 4K, bam, Prisoner of Azkaban in 4K, no buffering, easy peasy. You know what they did for the rest of the movies? They watched the box set, because I bought it. Like, fuck, I don't buy the shit for me half the time. I want people to watch it, Like, I've got shelves down there on the floor full of box sets. The box sets are specifically designed for people out there to pick it up and watch it. Because most of the box sets, before I had those shelves there, were way up the top. And no one's gonna go up there to watch those box sets. It's a fucking bitch. It's a real burden to do that. Like, if I'm looking at the box sets, you got Dexter. Nobody's going to watch that. Watchmen. No one's going to watch that. Columbia Classics. Empty, because it's all on the shelf. Buffy. No one's going to watch. Looney Tunes. Are we really going to watch Looney Tunes? We have it for the collectible package, despite the fact that it's not actually a collectible, but it's cool, because it's like a lot of Looney Tunes stuff, and it's like all uncensored and stuff. It's great. It's remastered. It's wonderful. Torchwood. Waste of money, but no one's going to watch that. Angel, well, same path as Buffy. I don't think anyone's really going to watch that. Like, I got them for Christmas from my brothers because I wanted to watch them, and I didn't want to watch them on streaming services because they've got a bad HD remaster, which puts them in widescreen, makes them really blue, turns up the contrast so you can see everything, makes it terrible. At least that's for Buffy. I didn't bother with Angel. Sound of Music, we've got it down here. Clint Eastwood 2 box sets. That's one Dad would watch, and honestly, he sometimes still does, but he doesn't all the time, but he's happy to get them down, so no biggie there. X-Files. Luckily, during the 2020 pandemic, my parents watched the whole entire show, and I don't have to get it down anymore. Star Trek, no one's gonna watch. Friends, I bought it so my parents would watch it, and I also wanted to watch it myself, but it's kind of just stayed up there and I haven't bothered with it, but I got it for like $30. So it's kind of a steal. So I'm like, yeah, fucking why not? I'm not gonna put it down here on the ground then anytime soon, but you know, it is what it is. And then the rest are the two Gamera sets that Arrow Video released, which I mostly have up there because despite the fact I've only watched two of the Gamera films, which were from the second era, which were two of the trilogy, and I never watched the third one, which sucks because I really like the second one. I have them like side to side because they've got like the front of them, like the artwork matches is like Gamera, half of Gamera on the other side. Gamera's a turtle. So like half of it is in one box set, half of it's the other, but of course they've got two different designs because it's like 20 years apart. So I just like put it together. It looks nice. It's like a mantelpiece item kind of deal. No one in my family is going to bring down fucking Gamera to watch. Trust me. But then the next three boxes are all Richmond's Grand Finals. But they're at the very corner there. So obviously Dad can just put in the stepladder right there and just grab them down. And trust me, he does that and he's fine with it. What were we talking about again? Right. Look, there are surely boxes down there that people aren't going to watch, but at the same time, I don't care. End all be all, sure. Sometimes it can be ridiculous to be buying stuff when you could stream it. Sure. I might buy this stuff, not watch it ever. Or I might buy it and have several copies. Oh, did I mention I had like 6 different copies of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? I'm lying. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 copies of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I've got 8 copies. I just realized I had the original Blu-ray, plus I've got the 4K. Plus I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steelbook releases. With only 2 of those being the 4Ks. Yeah, so like 8 releases of the film. Anyway, that's a different story. That's kind of a waste of money, which I agree with, but also I don't care. But yeah, I think we're in the era of we can do whatever the fuck we want with our money. And I've spent mine on buying movies, and I love that. A lot of these movies are probably shit. A lot of these movies are probably fantastic, and I've never watched them and might still never watch them despite them being right in front of me. But it's nice to have the choice. It's nice to have the library. If the internet's down, bam. If the internet sucks, bam. If I can't find it because it's not on a streaming service and it's not easy to rent, bam, it might just happen to be on here, okay? It just happens. So, end all be all, I think it's a dumb argument to be saying that we shouldn't be buying things if we haven't, interacted with them to some degree. Because it's a bad argument in general. I buy books, I'm not going to... How else am I going to read the book without buying it? Like, I know I could download or rent it from the library or some shit, but it's like... I don't want to do that. Like, this is basic. This is a library. I want to just have it there so I can pick it up and read it. That's what these are for. Also, because it's really cool. Look at this shit. There's a lot of stuff here. It amazes so many people, and I love it so much. It's as they say, the pride and joy. But yeah. Anyway. And that's saying a lot because I've got some really expensive steelbook editions of stuff and like collector's edition sets, but this is the real knocker. Just seeing all of these, a lot of people are like, fuck me. So yeah. I think I saw a TikTok the other day of this like person going through this creepy house that had like way too much storage space. And there was this one room just called the room and it was like 20 square feet or some it was a really long room and it was all these shelves and like, what could they fill these shelves with? And I'm sitting there like, oh my god, so much space for movies. It was a terrible room for it though, like for a storage room just empty on the inside and just the walls were all bookshelves, like that's just stupid. Nah, bitch, do like a library, put them in the middle. Anyway, so yeah, moral of the story, do whatever the fuck you want for your money. Go out and buy shit. Who cares if it's a waste? It's your money. It's always a waste. Adios.